It's been 27 days since our quest began for the last Trackstar's VHS on Earth. There's been nothing but sand for miles. It's only a matter of time before we run out of water. Not sure how much more of this we can take. Darn it, I ran out of ink!
Dennis, how much longer until we find the VHS?
According to the map, we should have found it by now. I don't know where we went wrong.
I'm starving. Hey, look.
A refrigerator? All the way out here? Seems a little suspicious to me.
Yeah, Joey, I wouldn't touch that.
What'd you say?
Ah! Ah! Oh, oof, ow!
That hurt.
Wow, this is great.
How exactly is this great? This will only delay our quest for the—
Hey, check this out. The last Trackstars VHS in existence, approximately 3.1 miles away.
That's weird. It's almost as if someone was expecting us to come down here.
I know, right?
It's gonna take us a while to get down there.
You're right. In the meantime, why don't you start the review, and we'll see you later in the video. Trackstars was an American DVD released February 7th, 2006. It featured 6 Season 8 episodes, 2 songs, a handful of learning segments, and a ton of bonus features. I've said before that I'm a big fan of the new series, so it only made sense to review the best new series DVD. What made me choose this one over any of the others from this era? For me, it comes down to 2 aspects. 1, the actual episodes, and 2, the bonus features. I think it's universally accepted that Season 8 is the best new series season, and I feel the episodes on Trackstars have enough substance that I can thoroughly express my opinions on them. However, what I consider to be even more important than the episodes on this disc would be the bonus features. Something I noticed about US DVDs from the early hit era is how much effort they put into the bonus features. You could spend hours doing all the activities on here, and I can assure you I did when I was younger. Part of me wonders though, if they included all these bells and whistles to compensate for the declining quality of the main feature. It goes without saying that the Hit era was a major downgrade from what came before it, and Hit may have felt pressure to make their DVDs better than ever to combat it. Just look at the menus from Tales from the Tracks, Come Ride the Rails, etc. Sure, the CGI looks absolutely horrible, but I'd gladly take that over the abysmal menus of the DVDs that followed them. Around the 2007 mark, for some inexplicable reason, they just gave up on the menus, cold turkey. These don't even have episode selections! It really goes to show why I gravitated to DVDs like Trackstars over ones like Milkshake Muddle. With all that out of the way, it's time to dive into this DVD. Let's do this!
Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
I really wish they added the morning segments and the Rev W. Audrey's letter at the beginning like they did with the TV airings. It'd make it a little more interesting to watch.
It had been a stormy night on the island of Sodor. All over the island, the storm had made a terrible mess.
Harvey doesn't seem to mind.
Soon, all the engines were steaming away from Tidmouth's sheds.
Who thought using a fisheye effect would be a good idea for this shot?
Farmer McColl was waiting for Thomas. Next to him were boxes and boxes of newly laid eggs. "My eggs must be delivered safely," said Farmer McColl. "So I am coming to make sure you go slowly and carefully."
Farmer McColl is pretty smart. I wouldn't trust Thomas with my eggs either.
Thomas had to stop at a crossing. Gordon steamed by. "Fastest and best," he chirped.
Does anyone know where this crossing is on the island? I feel like it only ever appears in this season and then never again.
"How many journeys have you done?" asked James brightly. "This is my first," said Thomas. "Ha! huffed James. I'm on my third. I'm as red as a rocket and twice as fast.
The other engines dissing Thomas is honestly kind of fun to watch unfold.
Thomas puffed across the countryside. Very, very slowly.
I love how deep Michael Brandon's voice got while saying that.
Toby was having a wonderful day. I'm on my second journey, he whistled proudly.
Well, technically that line is inaccurate since Toby doesn't have a whistle. Come on, Robin Rigby, I expect more from you.
Fast and careful, he huffed happily. But Thomas was going so fast, he wasn't being careful.
No, I can't tell where this is going.
Farmer MacLeod was worried. Slow down, Thomas, he called. You will break my eggs.
If I were Farmer MacLeod, I'd just hijack Thomas's controls and force him to go slower myself.
Then Thomas changed lines. It caused a big bump. The eggs were breaking.
Did they use real eggs for this? Because it kinda looks like they did.
James was behind him. But Thomas knew he couldn't speed up. Sometimes going slowly can be just as important as going fast, said Thomas.
Yeah, but in real life, wouldn't a slow goods train and a passenger train be on different lines?
You have all worked hard and been really useful engines, he said proudly. I only made one journey, sir, he said sadly, and I broke Farmer MacLeod's eggs.
If I were Thomas, I probably wouldn't have brought that up since Sir Topham Hatt seemed to be unaware of that. Could have gotten off the hook real easy, Thomas, but no.
Farmer MacLeod gave the broken ones to me, and I love having scrambled eggs for my breakfast.
What did he do, scrape the broken ones off the floor? Ew.
Every engine on the island of Sodor looks different. Can you tell who this is?
Oh yeah, the first of many learning segments on here. To be honest though, I don't see what educational value we're really getting from this one.
What else can we see on this engine? It's the number 5. Do you know which engine on Sodor is number 5?
Rusty?
This engine is bright and shiny and red. There's only one engine on Sodor who is red. That's right, it's James. It was summertime on the island of Sodor. All the engines were very busy.
I hope you're a fan of Season 8 Emily, because this is only the first of 3 episodes she's the lead-in on this DVD. Yes, really.
Sir Topham Hatt came to see Emily.
Yes, before the days Emily was a part of Tidmouth Sheds. Which is kind of weird in retrospect, since this DVD was released well after Calling All Engines, and they say in the bonus features that
recently Emily received a new home.
Sir Topham Hatt has given me the flour mill special, said Emily. You're lucky, James huffed. I have to do the Black Lock run.
I love how James is incapable of suppressing the urge to complain about his life to other engines, even if it has nothing to do with what they were just saying.
What's the Black Lock monster? Nobody knows, said James. Black figures move in the water and then they disappear.
If they just disappear, I don't see what threat they pose to the engines who pass by.
Emily was coupled up. Then she puffed across the countryside to Knapford Station.
Why is that one truck facing backwards?
Emily was late delivering the flour. This means I won't have any toast or muffins for breakfast.
Great job, Emily. You have officially taken away the one thing that makes Sir Topham Hatt happy. Food.
If you are late again, you will have to do the Black Lock run instead of James.
Why is he treating the Black Lock run as if it's a punishment? Maybe he just knows that the other engines hate it?
Mustn't be late, they giggled. So Emily puffed quickly away. But only half the troublesome trucks went with her.
Sodor needs to employ more vigilant workmen if stuff like this keeps happening.
When Emily arrived at the mill, the trucks were more troublesome than ever. Oh no, they cried, and they splashed into the duck pond.
I love how everything has a tendency to explode after crashing in the new series.
Emily, you have caused confusion and delay, Sir Topham had said. Now you are to take over the Black Lock Run.
Would you really give an engine who just caused a vicious accident the job of carrying passengers?
Then there was trouble.
Huh. I guess there was some truth to James's story.
Suddenly, she saw something dark and mysterious moving in the water. Emily was scared. Her boiler quivered and her valves rattled.
The bouncing before bouncing.
And Emily saw what the monster really was. It's a family of seals. Emily was delighted.
That is a bit of a relief, but I don't recommend getting too close.
You were right, said Emily. Black Lock is a nice route after all.
The next interstitial is the song Emily. I always thought this song was pretty good.
Friendly Emerald Emily.
Not so sure about the friendly part.
Percy is a little green engine who can shunt and pull. Percy has been late too often this week, said Sir Topham Hatt. He must go to the scrapyards tomorrow.
How exactly did Percy hear him, though? There's an entire brick wall separating them.
Sir Topham Hatt wouldn't scrap a really useful engine, said Thomas. And you, Percy, are a really useful engine.
And you're too popular to be killed off the show without anyone getting suspicious, so...
Percy rounded the bend. The pipe slipped and fell all over the track, but Percy puffed on.
This makes it sound like Percy knowingly spilled the pipes everywhere and didn't care whatsoever. But I guess not, since they say...
Percy thought he had delivered the pipes.
If that's the case, though, how on earth did he not notice the loud clamoring behind him, let alone the significant decrease in weight?
Be careful, said his driver. Tar is sticky stuff.
You're the one driving him.
Percy charged down.
Down the hills and round the bends.
The brake van passed Gordon, but the tar wagons didn't.
Okay, that's a pretty awesome crash. It must have been traumatizing to be Gordon in that situation, though.
I'm sure to be scrapped now. And so, Percy decided to run away. What's to become of me? Percy whispered. But there was no one around to hear.
Why would he choose to hide in the sheds of all places? The other engines will find him there later in the day.
I think I know where Percy is, sir. And he puffed back to Tidmouth Sheds as fast as he could.
Come on, Thomas, I've seen you go faster.
The sheds were very quiet as Thomas rolled into the engine berths.
FBI, open up!
I had decided that after taking some scrap to the smelters, you were to carry the mail all week. Do you really mean it, sir? No. On the island of Sodor, everybody enjoys helping each other.
Maybe not everyone.
If Annie and Clarabelle come off the track, who do you think can help Thomas get them back on their wheels?
Without any passengers inside, I would hope.
Who can help Gordon and his coaches get safely up the hill?
Toby?
Oh dear. Now James can't go anywhere. But James isn't worried. It was a beautiful fall day on the island of Sodor.
Yeah, don't let the title deceive you. Gordon's hardly in this episode.
Who will take the express, sir? He asked. The other engines were excited. Pulling the express was an important job.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, Thomas and Percy. You too, Toby.
But Sir Topham Hatt chose Emily. I've got big wheels and I'll do my best, said Emily. She was looking forward to taking the express, but it was very, very heavy.
Well, she's already doing better than Thomas did.
But she pulled away too soon and left the brake coach behind.
I spoke too soon.
Emily had to wait for Edward at the crossing. Edward went as fast as he could, but it wasn't fast enough for Emily.
Doesn't the express have higher priority than goods trains? Plus, Emily clearly made it to the intersection much before Edward.
The express was a guaranteed connection with Bertie the bus. But Bertie hadn't arrived. He had a flat tire and was running late.
Ouch! That's another hole in the road.
Emily tried to wait. She counted to 10, twice.
That's not even that long.
Emily needed to take on water, but James was at the water tower. It doesn't matter if you're late. And she left without taking on water.
I wonder what could ever happen next.
Emily had run out of water. She huffed and puffed, but she had no steam left. You left the brake coach, stranded Bertie's passengers, and bumped your coaches.
I can see how Sir Topham Hatt would know about the first two occurrences, but how would he know about Emily bumping her coaches? That happened like a few minutes ago.
Now I need an engine to take the slow goods train, said Sir Topham Hatt. May I take it, sir? She said. Sir Topham Hatt thought it was a grand idea.
It's quite obvious Sir Topham Hatt said that with the intention of giving the job to Emily. I'm pretty sure she's the only one in the yard. What was she gonna say, no?
Thomas and Emily have important jobs to do. Thomas needs to take some coal to Brendam Docks. And Emily has to go to Tidmouth Sheds.
How is going to Tidmouth Sheds an important job?
Emily is puffing to Tidmouth Sheds. What can Thomas and Emily do? Thomas is puffing into the siding. Now they can share the track. Emily can get to Tidmouth Sheds.
Yo, why does Tidmouth only have one track but 3 berths? Oh, this is a good one.
Then, with new paint shining, brass twinkling, and blacking black, James returned to Tidmouth Sheds.
It didn't dawn on me until recently that they say black ink black and not blacking black. Don't blame Michael Brandon though, because coincidentally, the UK dub is no better.
Then with new paint shining, brass twinkling, and blacking black, James returned to Tidmouth Sheds.
Look, aren't I a beautiful red? He asked the others. No wonder Sir Topham Hatt thinks I'm special.
Read the room, James.
Does this mean Sir Topham Hatt doesn't think I'm special? Looking splendid is not the same as being really useful, said Thomas firmly. But best of all is being really useful and looking splendid, like me.
Treat yourself.
But James didn't go straight to the coal plant. He decided to go by the canal instead.
Narcissist. It's funny, because that's actually how he died.
Look at me, he puffed. Don't I look fine? You should be at work, called Thomas. But James didn't listen to Thomas.
I love how James is consciously skipping work just to have people admire him. That's kind of extreme, even for James.
Poor Percy was almost worn out. What will happen to the order now? Cried the yard manager.
10 out of 10 narrating, Mike.
To make up for lost time, he said, you must take an extra long line of coal cars to the docks. James was delighted.
What? Since when does James like carrying...
The docks were always bustling with engines and people. It's the place to be seen.
Oh, I knew there was a catch.
James puffed along, looking forward to being seen.
Why didn't he just pull the cars instead? It's the most ideal position to get maximum viewage from.
James was cross and biffed the troublesome trucks as hard as he could. More coal flew out.
Didn't really think that through, did you, James?
Now James didn't want to be seen, but on his way to the docks, he kept passing his friends. I like your new coat of paint, he puffed cheekily. You do look splendid. He could hear the sound of the troublesome trucks giggling at him. And despite feeling foolish, even James had to smile.
I do appreciate James's humility at the end of this episode. I like that he gets what he deserves without the ending feeling too heavy.
Thomas is pushing. And Percy is pushing too. but the troublesome trucks are going nowhere.
I wonder why.
Let's try this again. This time, Thomas is pulling instead of pushing. And so is Percy. But the troublesome trucks are still not moving. Do you know why? Winter was coming to the island of Sodor.
Winter is coming.
Slow down. You're going too fast and bumping your passengers.
Yeah, like you're one to speak.
Stop talking to the children, said Emily. You are working and they will make you late. I'm never late, said Thomas huffily. There's always a first time. Thomas was cross. He loved talking to children.
I am never going to listen to Emily ever again.
Later that morning, Sir Topham had arrived with a new weather report. There is snow on the way. You must all have your snowplows fitted.
I'm low-key curious to see what that weather map looks like up close.
The workman fixed Emily's snowplow on in no time at all, and she set off to find Thomas. She was looking forward to telling him what to do.
That didn't sound antagonistic.
Thomas could hear what Emily was saying, but pretended he couldn't. He thought he was being very clever.
Wow, Thomas, you're sure fooling her.
You must go and get your snowplow fitted.
Bother snowplows, said Thomas, and bother Emily.
As absolutely stupid as this argument is, I have to admit, it is pretty fun to watch.
Everything was going well. But soon, the clear blue sky was eaten away by dark gray clouds.
That's actually some great personification. Caught me off guard with this being a Season 8 episode and all.
Thomas will be in trouble now. Emily was right. Thomas was working harder and harder.
Why does it look like they just photoshopped a layer of snow in front of Thomas in this shot? Maybe because they did.
And his driver went for help.
Where are you going? Home for tea.
Then he heard the sound of an engine. Thomas was delighted until he saw who his rescuer was.
I told you to go get your snowplow.
You should say sorry for bossing me about. I am sorry, said Emily.
Sorry you didn't listen to me.
Thomas, you must learn to listen. Thomas felt bad. Emily felt bad too. She didn't like seeing Thomas in trouble.
Excuse me?
Thank you for owning up, said Thomas. You are a very good friend.
Define good. Actually, no. Define friend.
You are a good friend too. But next time, if you want to stay out of trouble, just do what I say. Even Thomas had to laugh.
Look!
There it is!
Now, we have to make sure not to touch anything.
What'd you say?
The next area for us to explore on this DVD is the fun and games section, and boy, have we hit the jackpot. Our first game is James's Colors of Sodor. Although there's zero difficulty no matter what level you choose, Robin Smith's James impression makes it worth it.
Wow, you know your colors. Farmer McCool's barn is red.
I can't get over how they refer to Wilbur as purple though.
That is the purple button. Lady and Wilbur are both purple engines.
He clearly isn't. Next is Thomas's Amazing Adventure, which is based off of the events of Percy's Big Mistake. It's a little more interesting than the last game, but it gets boring when you realize that Percy hides in the tunnel every single time. The problem is they don't let you look in the tunnel until Thomas suggests that you do, so you're forced to get unnecessary clues from the peculiar sounding people and engines around the island first.
Sorry, Thomas. You may want to go check out the quarry. I know he likes to help out there.
He was here, Thomas, but Teasel teased him, and he said he was going to the airport to watch the airplanes land.
As I was taking the express to work today, I saw Percy passing by the windmill.
There's also a read-along, web fun, a specialized character gallery, and the learning segments from earlier you can watch again. What I really want to divert our attention to though is the trailers. Aside from a few exceptions, I never really watched any of the shows advertised here, but that doesn't mean they aren't nostalgic.
Before Bob laid his first brick, before he hammered his first nail, he had to learn how to build.
Bob the Builder is honestly so overlooked if you ask me. The style is really appealing, and the claymation is amazing.
I think it's time to get more help.
Join Benny and Scrambler, the newest members of Bob's crew.
Hadn't Benny and Scrambler already been around for a while before this DVD though?
On your mark.
No.
Are you ready for a fantastic four-wheeled adventure? Then start your engines, because here comes the big red car on DVD and VHS.
Imagine being on the highway and suddenly seeing that thing. I'm sure it would turn at least a few heads.
Angelina Ballerina dreams of becoming a star.
That's me!
To get there, she'll need encouragement from her friends.
You mean best friend.
Let's go to the next one.
Are you ready?
Ready!
I never really cared about this show. Or this one.
Next in Todd World, there's lots of okay coming your way. You'll see how it's okay to dance with a porcupine. It's okay to have wheels. And it's okay to say no.
See you next time. Love, Todd.
What? Oh, now we're talking.
The more places your child's imagination takes him, the bigger his world becomes.
This scene is surrounded by a faded border because what it's depicting is too beautiful to exist in real life.
Like sharing lessons about friendship, fair play, and teamwork.
Right.
Every engine from the wonderful stories of Thomas and Friends comes to life in brilliant detail. No other play system offers longer-lasting adventures that grow with your child year after year.
Okay, now that sounds more like the wooden railway I know.
Pulling into stations for the very first time. Lego, Duplo, and Thomas and Friends.
This reminds me of that wicked old Lego Duplo game. That's another review within itself.
Now available on the Leapster Learning Game System, Thomas and Friends.
This game was the holy grail of Leapster games when I was a kid. Does anyone know if there's any way to play it through a computer? Now that would be epic.
Honey, what you doing?
I'm reading with Thomas, Mom.
It's a busy day on the railway for Thomas and Friends. Adding tunnels, track, and bridges means new adventures to come.
For the record, I didn't own many of these destinations, but I think it's more fun just to watch them anyways.
Available now, only from Tomy.
Ah! Guys, look!
We did it!
Excellent work, Private Joey.
A pleasure doing business with you.
You fools led me straight to the rarest Thomas VHS on Earth. And now, it's all mine. Let's get out of here, Joey.
Affirmative.
Well, I certainly didn't see that coming.
So, that's Track Stars for you. I think anyone who grew up with the new series would agree that this DVD was definitely the cream of the crop. The episodes on here are relatively good, my personal favorites being James Gets a New Coat and Percy's Big Mistake. Plus, this DVD is so filled to the brim with activities that it's hard to get bored with it. Even if you're not a fan of this era, there will be at least something for you to like. I give Track Stars a wholehearted recommendation.
Impressive work, Joey. I can't bear the excitement. Open the sack.
Here it is, sir.
What?
Is there a problem?
I said to get the rarest VHS. This is Track Stars, for goodness sake.
I know, right? It's not every day you find...
I can get one of these off eBay for less than dollars.
In retrospect, I can see why this may have not been the best idea.
Joey!